somewhere. Here it is. Hi, I'm Vic, and welcome to GeekoFarm, where we do things differently. The old bag that I had in last week's video, sterling thing, has a water bladder. Yes, you want a drink? Yeah. It has a water bladder in it, but sadly too narrow to hold my laptop, which, for reasons which will become apparent, is a requirement. So, we'll take the bladder out of that and get rid of it. That's the bag. What do we put in it? You will need what they call the 5 C's, and this does not generally include a dog. Thank you. Can we hold that video a moment? Dog. Ah, right. Okay, where were we? 5 C's. Well, we'll start off with 5, we'll work it from there. So, first thing, cutting implement. Everybody needs to have a cutting implement. There we are, nice knife here. Carbon steel, wonderful thing, made in Sheffield, has served me well for nigh on 30 years. Lovely. Big serrated Rambo knives, not so much. Okay, but you do have to cut sort of larger things from time to time, and rather than axes, I recommend wire saws or one of those little folding pocket saws. And the next thing that you need, which is not to see at all, but applies to old buggers like me who are going half blind, is you need some glasses so you can actually read your crib sheet, but carry a spare pair. So the next thing we need is something to make fire. Combustion is the C we're using here. So I have here one of these ferrocerium rods, which you drag on the back of a knife blade or one of these scrapers down, and it makes a spark like that and sets fire to my carpet. That's the classic survivalist fire lighting machine. Personally, I prefer a little blowtorch like that, or even a Bic lighter. They're actually your go-to thing for lighting a fire. Of course, your glasses can also be used to focus sunlight. I always carry one of these as well, which has a little fire lighter in it, which is lovely. We'll get to that in a minute. Other things you will need are some cover. Now, in here I have a poncho. It's, plasticky thing, totally waterproof. It gets quite big, so I won't bother unraveling it right now. Anyway, you need some cover. So there's a poncho, also makes a tent, shelter, what have you. Also highly recommend a good old silver blanket. Remember, these things don't work if you're sitting on them. They only reflect heat. They don't stop heat being conducted away. Also, if you're in the desert, these things will reflect heat away, so they will keep you cooler. Right, next thing we need on the list is cordage. I have 3 pieces of cordage here. One to make the ridge line of my improvised shelter, one to tie down one corner and the other to tie down the other corner. So to have a cut rope. Also, this thing is paracord, so more cordage. Wonderful. Next thing we need is a container. I like to carry a stainless steel mug, but at the moment I'm using a large metal bottle. And you can, water in there. You can boil water in there by sort of hanging a hook in there and spending it over the fire, or just building the fire around it. There we go, that's a container. Right, then we start getting complicated. Candlery. Nice bright headlamp. Lovely. Keeps your hands free, and you can walk through the night without walking to trees. And your chandlery. Chandlery is like sewing, so I've got some ordinary dental floss here, and glued inside there are a couple of big-eyed sewing needles. So that is some really strong thread, and that's going to do all the emergency repair sewing I need to do. Also, clean my teeth with it. Compasses. Do not use these Kathmandu compasses like that. They are cheap, they are nasty, they get great big... Can we see the air bubbles in that thing? They are colossal. Yeah, we'll get up there for a zoom in. Colossal air bubbles, Kathmandu won't take any responsibility for their product. Do not get one of those. Get something like a silver. Can we cut in a silver Ranger S compass at this point? Maybe a few words. Right, there's a proper compass. Get these instead. Sorry this video is a bit haphazardly put together, but I'm in a bit of a rush. We have a spare compass on the little paracord bracelet, but don't just carry 2 compasses. If you're going to carry 2 compasses, carry 3 compasses. There's one on the end of this little whistle I carry. Here we are, up for a close-up. Because if you think one of your compasses is dead, you won't know which one's right if you've only got 2 of them. So carry 3 if you're going to carry more than 1. Cotton. Not only is this handy for wiping dog drool off one's face, you can use it to strain water, you can use it for cover, you can use it as emergency medical padding, all sorts of things. Highly recommended. Cotton. This is a sarong. If you aren't into sarongs, then you carry a spare cotton t-shirt or whatever. You can also use this for fire lighting if it's cotton. And what they call cargo tape in the States, or duct tape. You don't need a whole roll. This is just all wound around a bamboo skewer and then cut off. Actually, I've wound this around a nail, which I thought might be more useful. Finally, things that don't start with C, but you're gonna want anyway. Okay, toilet paper. All the survival kits in the internet seem to miss out toilet paper. Put toilet paper or tissues in your kit in something waterproof. While we're on the subject of toilet, Imodium, pack some kind of anti-diarrheal medication because emergencies have that effect on people. All right, finally, a big fat waterproof marker pen. These things can be used to write urgent medical notes on yourself. I have been bit by a scorpion, for example, and they can be used to darken materials so you can set fire to them with your glasses more easily. They burn like an emergency candle, and they're a good place to wrap an extra bit of duct tape. So that's what I'd really like to be carrying. However, sometimes you have to make some compromises, particularly when you're trying to travel light. So the reduced version. Let's say we're travelling overseas and we don't want to look like Rambo and we haven't got much baggage allowance. Going to take a knife, but something that looks like, say, a diving knife or something with a non-threatening blade, little cheap stainless thing, and get something cheap in case customs decide they don't like you. Yeah, we'll go. For carrying around all the time, I suggest a mini Leatherman of some description, not one of the great huge ones with the locking blade, which is illegal in many countries, or a good old school Swiss Army knife. But I do tend to use these for picking up things that are very hot or very poisonous and bitey. So, we move on to the combustion thing. First thing I tend to do in a foreign airport is to buy a Bic lighter when I get there, because I can't take these things on the plane. Do take one of these on the plane with the little sparky fire rod in there and a compass. Alright, the whistle also contains a little sparky fire rod and a compass, but you needn't tell the people at security about that. And so we move on to cover. Now, silver blanket stays. Obviously, that's really useful. For your cover, also recommend one of these little folding emergency ponchos, although personally, even if I'm going into the desert, I'll take one of those fabric ponchos with me. You do want the cordage. Take the cordage as well as your little paracord bracelet. The cordage on these things gets impregnated with dust and dirt, and you can't rely on it for full strength. Cotton, take your t-shirt or sarong and your black felt pen with the duct tape wrapped around it. That is remarkably useful for marking your name on your luggage, all sorts of things while you're travelling. The water container, I still recommend taking the proper metal water bottle. But don't forget to empty it before going through airport security, otherwise you will lose it. And tissues, yes, take those, and the Imodium for obvious traveller's belly issues. And don't forget your glasses. Here I am, out for a walk with the GoPro and the dog. You may have noticed a common theme in some of my recent acquisitions: survival gear, compass, GoPro, a little bit of camping equipment, and you might correctly gather that I'm going somewhere. So, if you think you know where I'm going, or you think you know where I should go, and do be polite about this, drop us a line in the comments below. Otherwise, that's your lot from down on GeekoFarm.